Hi, guys. It's your favorite auntie. Is Will Smith not worthy of love? The internet is buzzing today because Jada Pinkett Smith announced that her and Will have been separated for 7 years, living separate lives. What is going on? Let's get into this video. But before we do, I need you guys to hit the like button. Please comment after the video and please subscribe to my channel. So it was released that Jada did an interview with the Today Show, and I don't believe it has come out yet, the full video of her interview, but we got a snippet. And in the snippet, she talks about she wrote a memoir and the book is called Worthy. Well, the bombshell. We did not know that her and Will had been separated for 7 years. It put the internet in an uproar. Why? Because, of course, everybody's going back to the slap with Chris Rock. So we know last year the slap happened because Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's hair. Will gets up, he proceeds to go on the stage, slaps Chris in his face. There was so many mixed reviews about that because you had one side of the fence of people who said, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. He's honoring his wife. Then you had other people on the side of the fence who were like myself, who felt that no, he should have handled that in a different manner. He should have talked to Chris after the show. It could have been it could have been handled a different way. The biggest disappointment that I think that we all could agree on was Jada's response to that incident. At the time, she sat kind of stone faced, kind of looking like, yeah, I saw what he did. Yep, that's what he did. It didn't seem as if she was moved by what her man had just got on stage and done. She seemed very passive about it. And a lot of people took issue with that. We couldn't understand that. And then soon after, she releases a statement stating that she hopes that they can move past this, and that she wishes there was peace, and that Will and Chris will have to work through their issues. What? We were all confused by that because that did not sound like something a wife would say when her husband has got up on stage and defended her honor. She even went on to say that she never told him to do that. Yeah, she never told her husband to do that. It's no real love reaction. That is not what we would expect from a loving wife. I think we all can agree. And of course, everything in this video is my opinion. And I think I speak for the collective when I say that Jada is not in love with Will Smith. For the longest, the Smiths have been very private about their relationship. We have heard speculations for many, many years that they have an open marriage. They've never came out that I can recall stating that, yes, we have an open marriage. That's what we do. They've just kind of let us all believe that, yeah, that's how we roll. If that's what you guys say, then sure, that's what we're doing. For years, there have been rumors that they were divorcing. Now it makes sense why it kept coming up year after year. It's not that the tabloids were just bored. There was actually some merit to this. She confirmed this today when she said we've been separated for 7 years. So somebody knew about this, and I don't know if they were leaking it to the press, and that's why every year we kept hearing that they were getting a divorce. Or maybe they just were not seen out and about enough. I'm not sure. I had no clue that they were separated this entire time. But why is everybody really so upset about this news? I think everybody's upset and caught off guard, of course, because of the slap that happened. But also, a lot of people are feeling like Will Smith is taking the embarrassment of this situation. There are so many people who are looking at Will like, why does your wife keep embarrassing you? But is Will really a victim in this? I don't know about that. I had to go back and look at some videos to see, did we miss something? And you guys, I think we did. I'm going to break it down on what I think we missed. Let's go back to the Red Table Talk. The very first episode of the Red Table Talk that was on Facebook Watch that Jada did, do you guys remember she interviewed Sheree, Will Smith's first wife? And one of the things that Jada said was that she didn't understand marriage or divorce. She said she should have fallen back. This is what she told Sheree, because she said she didn't understand the unfinished business of marriage. And if you remember, at the time when Jada met Will, he wasn't divorced from Sheree yet. I guess they had separated, but they were not officially divorced. And Jada and Will started dating. So she talked about that with Sheree. And then she also said that um, she spoke about if she were to get a divorce, how that would make her feel now. I mean, she barely talked about that. She didn't go into like great detail from what I can remember, but I do remember her saying, if it were me and I had gotten a divorce, I understand now. And so Sheree told Jada that one of the regrets that Sheree has is that um, she wished that she had given her marriage a chance, and that she felt bad that for her son Trey, that she didn't give him the family. And watching him grow up with his siblings was really hard for her. And she started to become emotional. Then Sheree also said, which I thought was very interesting, she said to her, you remember at Trey's birthday party, that discussion I had with you that Will was not easy? Was I right? And Jada looked at her and said, oh, yeah. So there's something there. So we're thinking that Will is a victim in all of this, and poor Jada is, excuse me, not poor Jada, but poor Will. And Jada is just this evil person who is embarrassing her husband at every turn. But I don't know about that. I'm having some thoughts about that. And let's go a little bit further. Jada also talks about that she had a fantasy of what marriage and family was. So that was some snippets that was dropped in that particular show that kind of let us know that something about this marriage is a little rocky. But I don't know that any of us really picked up on that to say, oh, okay, well, they must be separated. No, I think it was just more of, okay, well, people go through things, but I don't think any of us really thought it was as deep as it really is. Ooh, let's fast forward. August Alsina interview that he did with Angela Yee. In 2020, when August sat down with Angela and he revealed that he and Jada most certainly had a relationship, which we all speculated was happening because we saw them out together at, was it, I believe, an award show, BET Awards. Jada and August Alsina showed up at the award show, hugged up. Everybody's confused. How are you here with this man and you have a whole husband? Well, of course, she was saying that he's just someone that she's helping to heal. He was helping her heal, all right. So the interview that August did, he said that he had gotten permission from Will to have a relationship with Jada. And he talked about how he loved her so much and that he gave his whole heart to her, and that he was in a place in his life where he was just in so much pain, and how the relationship with her just was what he needed, and that they were there for each other. And to this day, he still has love for her. He still has love for Will. Their relationship is not broken. But then he also said in that interview that it was important for him to speak his truth because it also affected his relationship with Jada, affected his business life. I think it started to seep into that where people didn't want to work with him. He was losing out on money because people thought he was a homewrecker. So I think he was wanting people to know that no, I had an open relationship with Jada because her husband told me, no, it's all good. And one of the things that he said that I thought was interesting, he said, I could, if I were to die, you could bury me as an honest man. I think when he said that, everyone knew that that relationship was real. Um, August deciding to set himself free of living this, I don't even know if it was a lie, but living with this secret that he couldn't openly say that he was allowed to date Jada, and having to just have everyone say the things that they said about him. And he finally got to a place where he could just set himself free. That's the first time I would say that we really got a glimpse into the Smiths' business. They had been doing such a good job at not really letting us in, and they almost had to respond to it. Well, they didn't have to. They could have easily just said, it's not true, which I think somebody came out and said it's not true. But I think because of their relationship with him, they felt compelled to speak out and give some truth behind what August said. So shortly after that, they did the red table talk, and we know that's when the infamous entanglement came out. And from that, we all had this feeling of, why is Will so passive about this conversation? Why is he able to sit down at the table with Jada and just kind of it seemed like there was some hurt in his eyes as they talked about it, but at the same time, it was just the weirdest vibe of listening to her talk about being in an entanglement with August. And he's just sitting there, yeah, like, yep, that's what it was. Jada, really, an entanglement? Like, no, go deeper, really talk about this. And she's like, yeah, okay, it was a relationship. And then they kind of alluded to Will did something that he did, and this is kind of was her response to that. Now, we don't know what it was that Will did. We have no idea. For whatever reason, they have decided not to speak upon that. So I don't know if there was infidelity by him first, or what that situation was. But he acknowledged that he was done with her when this relationship started. She met August back in 2015 at her kids' concert, I think in London. And she talked about that she's been separated since 2016. So I'm wondering, when you met him in 2015, did the separation happen because you now wanted to pursue something with him? Because a year later, now we're separated. That's between her and Will. What we did get was some clarity on Will's laugh as she talked about her entanglement. We also heard from her where she said that the reason why she got into this relationship with August is because she wanted to feel good, that it was a joy to help heal him. What? We were left in the dark about that. It came off kind of sick. You had some people saying that she was a predator, but I think that's a reach. August was clearly of age. They had a good time. He loved her. I don't know that she was in love with him. I think that she just enjoyed the fun and youth of being with him. But this is just my opinion, and I don't know that to be true. Maybe she did love him. I find that hard to believe. The biggest clue that we really missed out on, people did talk about it, but I don't know if they talked about it in this context of at the end of that entanglement discussion, they said bad marriage for life, and they gave each other fist bumps. There was some talk where people were like, what? So y'all just gonna stay together and y'all are not even happy. I don't know why at that moment they wouldn't just live in their truth. We're not together. We've decided that we're just going to, as August said in his interview with Angela Yee, that they had entered into that Will and Jada had entered into a life partnership. So that was another clue that we missed as well. So I think they had decided that we're still going to be married on paper, but we're just going to live separate lives because she's already said that they're living separate lives. They live, I'm assuming, in two different homes because she said they're separated. But they decided to say bad marriage for life. So we're not happy. We don't love each other, or we're not in love with each other, but we're just going to say that we're married. We don't understand that. But what we do know is that Will is not a victim in this. Will seems to be a willing participant in all of this that's going on. So a lot of people were in the comments on different blogs on Instagram, just really going in on Jada and really talking about how they just felt sorry for Will, but then they also were mad at Will too for slapping Chris when he's not even with her. So that's a whole nother thing too. But I definitely believe that he, for whatever reason, is just deciding to live like this. I have Will Smith's book, but I have not read his book, and now I'm going to read the book. I think the biggest thing that I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around is that why is it that when Jada's book is getting ready to come out, it is causing such what we feel as embarrassment for Will, another attack at his character. But Will released the book, and we didn't get that. There was nothing against Jada's character that we know of that came out about the book. So I don't know if this is just a step forward for her to just finally live in her truth. And now after this, they plan to take the next step. I don't know. That's their decision to make. They're married. And if they feel that this is the life that they want to live, just say, hey, let's stay married on paper. Who are we to judge that? But let's not look at Will as a victim to all of this. He's a willing participant, like I've said before, and I think there's got to be a part two to this video. I want to read Will Smith's book just to try to get some insight on who he is and how did he end up in a relationship like this. A lot of people are saying Jada's still in love with Tupac. Is Jada still stuck at the age of 19 and 20 years old, still fantasizing about the late rapper? I don't know. But what seems to be evident is that she is not in love with Will Smith.